Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Jason Corle. Jason Corle is a member of the PAC Protocol Board of Directors. Jason specializes in business integration for the onboarding of decentralized and distributed data storage on the PAC Protocol network. A multi-talented blockchain enthusiast, Jason has over 5 years' experience in the blockchain industry, starting off with PAC Global as a brand ambassador. He later worked for Goxstein Media to help provide educational and promotional content for one of the leading cryptocurrency media companies globally. Jason uses his positive attitude and leadership skills to help encourage others to work hard and succeed. Well, good afternoon, Jason. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You bet. This is exciting. I talk about it all the time, but I sound like a broken record, but I truly love meeting new people, but jumping on a podcast and getting to truly hear your story is amazing. So Jason, jumping into the questions, let's talk about your career a little bit. Your career in blockchain and media, and now member of the PAC Protocol Board of Directors. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
Well, yes, thanks for asking. And again, I appreciate you having me on tonight. For me, I've always been very inspired by blockchain because it brings a decentralized aspect to things. I was always very intrigued with being able to have a trustless type of peer-to-peer transaction system. And that really intrigued me and brought me into this space. It helped propel me for my career growth because as I got into blockchain, you kind of had a few things going on within the world where everybody was really at home, and blockchain's really built for being at home. So I just kind of harnessed my energy into getting into a good, strong protocol, which I've been working with now for over 4 years, as far as like community and growing relationships. And then learning a lot about the intricacies of the blockchain has really helped me leverage that knowledge to bring everyday use products on blockchain to the legacy network. And that's what we build. That's what we come to work every day to provide the general public with.
I love that. And Jason, it's just, I don't think it's a small world anymore. Maybe it is more of a smaller world, but blockchain is certainly really a hot topic these days, but also on this podcast. In fact, recently, we're still wrapping things up, but have converted my platform website to the blockchain platform. So that's awesome. I love that we're talking about it tonight. So switching gears here a little bit, Jason, we've all had to make those sacrifices during the lockdown, right? But what are your plans for business growth going forward? And will it be any different now that we've kind of ironed out some of these lockdown issues?
Yeah, that's a great question. We've really, during the lockdown, we expanded a lot during the lockdown, believe it or not. We did a lot of travel and we got out in front of a lot of people. We tried to focus a little bit on some big data storage type of companies. So it kind of leveraged us to get out into California. So during this lockdown, we took the pandemic and the lockdown as an opportunity to get out in front of people when other people weren't looking to really travel. So we've used it to our advantage. And then, like I said, being in blockchain is a unique thing because it's already like, blockchain is decentralized, but your workstation, for the most part, you're decentralized. You have coders, developers all over the place globally throughout the United States, all coming together, working together for one cause. So we kind of were prepared for this being remote, and it's kind of given us a head start on just continuing to push forward our products because we already had that business strategy implemented pre-lockdown because we are a decentralized company. We exist across the entire globe as far as having developers everywhere, communities very large and massive as well. So, the pandemic gave us a unique opportunity to leverage the things that we had already been doing and maybe gave us a step ahead of some of the competition because we had already been in that type of lifestyle and space.
Thank you for sharing. And again, we all have our unique stories, but it's awesome to hear, and it's amazing, really inspirational to hear how people shifted to adjust and work the kinks out during the pandemic. So thank you for sharing. So Jason, you're obviously leveraging some new and emerging technologies within your tech stack, right? Is there anything you might be able to share with us today?
Yes, our main focus at Pack Protocol, I should say. Pack Global is our actual holdings LLC. Pack Protocol is our actual protocol within the blockchain. And on our blockchain, we leverage what are called master nodes, and they run an active live copy of the blockchain 24/7. They're like a second layer, so to speak, and they perform certain functions on the blockchain. So what our master node layer does for us is it provides instant transactions as well as private transactions on our network. The instant transactions is really unique in that typically a block takes 2 minutes, 30 seconds for us to complete a block as far as it to continuously run through. We're proof of stake instead of proof of work. What happens is when we have the master-node network, it propels us to allow these transactions to take place in less than 2 seconds because we have what are called master-node quorums that just are dedicated to providing these instant transactions while running this live 24/7 copy of the chain. So master nodes is what we leverage, and we use those master nodes, which are virtual private servers, as storage devices. So it's a decentralized distributed storage network that's leveraged on what's called the Interplanetary File System, IPFS, or Web3. People, that's a big trendy word now. We leverage those technologies to store and to move massive files through the blockchain. And what makes that unique is typically in a traditional system of servers, all the data is stored on a single server set. So you have a single set of data that comes through. That single file gets stored into a single server. What we do is we take that single file that comes in, we shard it, which simply means we break it down into small pieces. So as that, say, 1 gigabyte gets broken down into 1,000 small pieces of data, and it gets distributed across our decentralized masternode network and stored, where each piece of data has its own private key. So it's very well protected as opposed to being all in a single server, which we've seen over and over again is susceptible to hack and compromise. Our system decentralizes where the data is stored. So if it gets broken down into 1,000 pieces of data when it comes in, it goes to 1,000 different virtual private servers that are globally and privately run. So that's kind of where our tech stack is at. And we're building off of that, whereas any traditional legacy product or application that you could think of can simply just plug into our blockchain servers network, and you'll have that ability to store all your files distributed and decentralized to give you that added layer of security that the legacy system doesn't provide.
I absolutely love that. And that's one of the key features, I think, or benefits around the blockchain and how things are distributed and decentralized, is especially these ransomware attacks, right? So I love this. So thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. And Jason, last question. Can you share something from your career experience that might be helpful for those looking to grow their career in either leadership or tech?
The best advice I have, and this is coming a little from my football background as well, in college and a little bit of pro as well, but it's just keep your head down, keep pushing, always strive to be great. Anybody can really be good, but it takes a lot of work to be great. And that means putting your head down, like I said, putting the time and the effort in, and, don't take no for an answer. Everything that you do, you put 100% into. And I think that goes a long way as far as being a leader, because if you could do those things and show selflessness as a leader, that you're going to go out and do whatever it takes to win, the people on your team tend to follow it and want to be a part of that. So having that good positive mental outlook, which is very key, PMA, positive mental attitude, I live by that. And I feel like that's very important for everybody to practice, because it allows you to keep yourself in a positive space, whereas that focus and energy is always on something that's going to bring something more positive and more enlightening to your life. So, always stay positive and always continuously work harder than the next man. And I know that sounds cliche, but if you actually wake up every day and you have goals and you go out and you achieve those goals, you'll actually achieve your ultimate mission by achieving those smaller goals. So set small goals, go out and achieve them, and ultimately it'll bring you to where you need to be. So
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And, we've got a lot of young, up and coming entrepreneurs, business leaders, young executives, and this information is like gold. So thank you again, Jason. And Jason, it was a pleasure having you on today, and I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Thank you very much. And I really, really appreciate you having me on today.
Bye for now.